Hello and welcome to the new Power BI weekly challenge from the Workout Wednesday. So if you have been following me, you know that I am picking up one after another challenge, and today I am picking up the week 10 challenge as last week or last time I picked up the week 9s. So making a progress, I am hopeful that you are making progress with me. And this week I am going to talk about the violin plot custom visual. So in this is basically your violin plot looks like. So if you will observe, what it gives you is basically your shape of data, right? Or the distribution. So if you remember, your histogram is also give histogram, or even the box plot chart if you have seen previously my videos. Both of those charts give you the distribution of data, right? But what does this chart give is this additional width you can see, right? This gives you the density of the data at that particular position, right? So just giving it like more weight or more basically information along with the distribution, you have the width as well. So here it's talk about the custom visual. Violin plots are useful to show both distribution, like I was saying, and density of data. So this is where the density is, and this is your distribution. Or distribution, if I say, is overall look of the data, right? So data is your normally distributed, skewed, left skewed, right skewed, and all of that from those statistical world, if you remember. All right, so this data is daily average temperature in Denver, Colorado. So that's something data we have it, and this is where you have the requirement. We are using this new data set. Please use the download Power BI file here. That's something I have already done. So this is present over here, as you can see, and this is where you have some information about the data source, like what is the data source, where is the Power BI help you can get about it, violin plot help, as to violin plot wiki, who created this PBI viz file or custom visual file, and on app source. So what you have is basically date and simply the temperature in the Fahrenheit, like average, maximum, minimum temperature in both Fahrenheit and Celsius, right? Depends on what part of the world you are. Well, I am from the part of the world where we do all the calculation or all the understanding in Celsius. So, but if you are in, let's say, US, then probably you measure in temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay. So first thing first is we are using this new data set this week. Create a violin plot that displays average temperature grouped by month name. The average temperature value is provided in both Fahrenheit and Celsius, right? Okay, so that's number one. But for this, first thing first is you need to log in into your Power BI using your work account. So I am working, so fortunately I have this account, and if you see, when I was attempting this exercise, I have already added the violin chart. But if let's say you have not added it, how would you add it? Simply by after logging in, you need to go here and get more visual. Click on the get more visual. It will open up this new pane for you, and here I will search, there you go, violin chart. So you have it, violin plot over here. Once you click it over here, you get the option of adding it, add, and then you will be done. So here you see that three different types of chart that you can create. One is the violin with box plot, violin with the barcode strip, and then column with min and max values, right? Even if you want, I think, yeah, you can select this, like some examples of how this will going to look like, how this, like bandwidth and kernel selection, some more in depth into the violin chart. So you can see a lot of things that can be done. So I'm sure that we have lot of properties to play around, but let's start with the basic. Since I have already added it, I can click it over here. This is where my Violin plots comes in, and average temperature I will take Celsius, and what do they need is, let's say, per month. So I will add it month over here, and I will add it month over here in category as well. So if I expand this, this is the kind of chart that I get, which is giving us average temperature. Still very different from this, if you would see, right? You have the average temperature in Fahrenheit. I have selected the average temperature in Celsius, and then we have to here, if I just expand this, I know even for me it is difficult, so it will be difficult for you. You have the individual data point, first quartile, third quartile, and median value. All of this will come in when we will configure it. Okay. Use the barcode strip to plot the individual temperature values. So for this, the chart needs to be selected. We need to come over here. We have Violin plot option. Let's see if we can find it over here. You have this inner padding and with my category. No, nothing in category sorting. And we have combo plot. Yeah, so here the plot is basically box, and here we can change it to barcode strip. So when you change it to the barcode strip, a change happens, but not the way what I was expecting. So for that, I will just go in over here. I will just make sure that everything is properly here. So if I create a Violin plot that displays average temperature grouped by month, the average temperature value is provided. You can use either field, creating an example solution. Okay. I will, what if, no, we need sampling. I will just add sampling to it. So we have sampling, we have this, and we have to have a category, otherwise it will not show it over here. But it needs to basically show us this type of information, like with a proper bandwidth. Right now it has just created a leaf shape. So I did some checking into the documentation about configuration. This is where we need to make a correction. Sampling, remove that. And this is where for the sampling and even for the measure data, we have to use the average temperature field. And then we will going to get this value, as you can see it over here, right? So now we have it. So that's a correction. Because I remember I was doing this yesterday or day before yesterday, and that's where I was also trying to find it, like what do we need to do with the sampling, measure data, and all. Okay, so that's the first correction that we can do. So clearly, some interpretation is the value is having more presence over here as compared to here, or there is like no present at all. Like -5 to -10 degrees Celsius in October, and it's basically shows this is where the highest temperature is, like what is the range and all, and this is where the lowest temperature is, right? And it reduces like quite a period of time. So this is quite clear from this. Now use the Ipanyshnikov. I hope. Yeah, first thing first is it's difficult for me to pronounce. I think looks like Russian or maybe Poland sort of a name, but I may be wrong. Kernel and high sampling resolution for the Violin shape. Okay, let's go here. Violin option. Already kernel is with the same name, Ipanyshnikov. You can experiment with other as well. I mean, if you want Gaussian, quartic, I have no freaking idea what they are. Even though, I sometimes go, at least I know Gaussian is like related to the normal distribution, but no idea about that. So you need to read about it, either from Wikipedia or somewhere. Okay, so default kernel and high sampling resolution for Violin's shape. So it's been your gray shape, right? I don't know, data color, all categories. Let's just change it to not this one, maybe a little bit dark. Yeah, this is good. At least it is visible, like how the shape is. Correct? Like this one. They have used it more dark, and down there they have some instruction as well. You may choose your own color, but you must ensure that color contrast is 3:1, and this is where some of the apps or websites basically go in, and I recommend you as to you have this WebAIM contrast checker or color contrast analyzer that can be useful for checking the contrast is like 3:1 between the bars and individual data points and the kernel density background. Okay, so this is one. Use lines in plot for the first and third quartiles and median. Okay, so we have this. Where is that? In y-axis. This is where we need to do a little bit of exploration. Or how about legend? Yeah. We have the first quartile, third quartile. Violin option. Category sort data colors. Category sorting. I forgot where in combo plot, right? Yes, show first and third quartiles. So what it is asking you is show the first and third quartile and the median. So the median is already here, right? And median line color is, let's say we give it what? No, not this one, maybe a little bit dark, so that it is clearly visible from a contrast perspective. Yeah, and we enable this, and we even highlight this properly. Ooh, not this color. Where have we gone? Select this combo plot, first and third quartile, and for this, no, it will be similar. I think blue will be like better, or maybe dark blue. First quartile, blue. I will just choose this one. Second quartile, I will choose also this one, right? You can choose different color if you want. And first quartile line is, you can make it solid, or you can make it dashed, or you can make it dotted. So I think dashed is fine, right? Same as, and median line color is here. Okay. However, if you want, you can change the bar color because it is black. Ooh, it's gone. How about we keep it like this? Yeah. So clearly visible. We are having a clear visibility. And stroke width increase 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Right? So for me, I think this much is looking fine, but again, you can take the help of these color contrast analyzer or checker. So because black, I feel like it's just creating an unnecessary lot of noise rather than giving us a value. So that's again your personal style. What do you want to do with this? This is what I like. A little bit washed out or light color where it needs to be, because if you see over here, you have a lot of lines, so you just want them to be there as an indication that it is present to show you the distribution, but it should not add any unnecessary weight to it, right? So again, use text size 12 for x and y axis label. Straightforward. If you will see y axis, this is where the text size is. Same, do it for x axis as well. Format the tooltip to measure display as integers. So you see that you have integer show 0 decimal places. So default tooltip, display point, measure decimal places 0. So now it will be like all proper sort of integers. Title the chart 2020 daily average temperature in Denver, Colorado. I'll just copy that and select all, paste. This is what it is. But you must ensure the color contrast. This is where I leave it up to you, because from my experience I can do it. You can utilize this tool to do it. And then finally identify the months with the highest and lowest standard deviation. So where is the highest standard deviation and lowest standard deviation? So first thing first is, what is standard deviation? Deviation is your variation into the data, like how big is the variation. So standard deviation is a natural way or a standard way of identifying the variation in data. And highest and lowest is like you have higher or a bigger, right, distribution or bigger dispersion, or the lowest dispersion or variance. So this is where you have the lowest. Clearly it can be visualized, and highest is present here in October, right? So this is how you will going to answer it for your standard high and low variation. Also, as far as formatting goes, I don't like these lines, which is the grid lines. I think in general you may have grid lines. Visual border, title, properties. Somewhere it must be there. Maybe the Y. This is what Y-axis, right? Grid line color. I don't want grid line. Yeah, this is way much better. Clean and clear chart, making it visually appealing. If you want, you can little bit further experiment, but I think for me it is good. So that's something I wanted to show you in this video as to how you will going to create the Violin chart. But study about the Violin chart. There is a lot to learn about it, right? If you will ask me personally, in business sense, probably we have not used it various times. Also, interpretation of this chart is slightly difficult for business users until and unless something is very apparent, like what happened here to what happened here to what happened here, right? So that is why, we mostly end up using some of the very common and easily interpretable chart. But something when you are going a little bit scientific, like from a data science perspective, and you need it for your at least data exploration or communication to the fellow data scientist or like-minded people, then I think this chart is useful. So that's about it. Just wanted to add a little bit more commentary from a business perspective as to what it is. And but yeah, let me know if you have any question. I'll be happy to answer that. Thank you so much, and I will meet you in the next video.